from. Alrighty, so I want to talk about a component of emotional intelligence today that I think all of us, if you are watching this, if you are listening to me, I think it's something that we all have to work on a daily basis. Out of all of the four quads, this is one that is in your control, and it is self awareness. So within this book, it talks about what emotional intelligence is. It's self awareness, self management, social awareness, and relationship management. And I think on your personal development journeys, self awareness is one of those crucial components that's going to help you to accomplish your goals, develop the skills that you need, and so forth. Okay, so today we're going to focus on self awareness and what that truly means. So I'm going to jump right in without further ado. Okay, so self awareness is your ability to accurately perceive your own emotions in the moment and understand your tendencies across situations. Self awareness includes staying on top of your typical reactions to specific events, challenges, and people. A keen understanding of your tendencies is important. It helps you quickly make sense of your emotions. So this is Self awareness allows you to understand how you are wired. A high degree of self awareness requires a willingness to tolerate the discomfort of focusing on feelings that may be negative. Now, the only way to genuinely understand your emotions is to spend enough time thinking through them to figure out where they come from and why they are there. So you don't just respond to things because you respond to things. There is something that is lying underneath. There is a root cause as to why you feel the way that you feel. And self awareness will allow you to sit and reflect on those feelings. Emotions always serve a purpose. Say that out loud with me. Emotions always serve a purpose. Because they are your reactions to the world around you, emotions always come from somewhere. Many times, emotions seem to arise out of thin air, and it's important to understand why something gets a reaction out of you. You ever notice when somebody says something, it like make you feel a certain type of way, like, "Ugh, why you say it like that?" Or if somebody says something, then you light up, like a light bulb. So you have to understand where that comes from, okay? People who do this can cut to the core of a feeling quickly. Situations that create strong emotions will always require more thought. I want to repeat that again. Situations that create strong emotions will always require more thought. Strong emotions like love, strong emotions like hate, strong emotions like indifference, strong emotions like disappointment. These will require more thought. And these prolonged periods of self reflection often keep you from doing something that you will regret. That's why it's important that when you are angry, and it is okay to be angry, don't let anybody tell you any different. It is okay to be angry, but how you deal with that anger is very important. Okay, self awareness is not about discovering deep, dark secrets or unconscious motivations, but rather it comes from developing a straightforward and honest understanding of what makes you tick. So, in this moment right now, what makes you tick? What sets you off? Whether it's going to set you off in a positive way or if it's going to set you off in a negative way. Self reflect on that. What things make you tick? People high in self awareness are remarkably clear in their understanding of what they do well, what motivates and satisfies them, and which people and situations push their buttons. I want to pause right here and tell you a story about how I was recently on public transportation. I take public transportation going to and from work. And on my bus route, there is this young lady who has a daughter who has to be no older than 5 years old. And this mother makes it her business to publicly embarrass her daughter if her daughter is doing something unruly. Okay, if her daughter may, be getting up and, jumping up and down in her seat, the mother makes it her business to publicly embarrass her daughter, and it really annoys me. This one day, she gets on the bus with her daughter, and the little girl is sitting, like, I'm sitting right here. Okay, I'm forward facing, and the little girl is sitting on the side of me, but in front of me. And a man gets on the bus. Now, the whole time, this mother's back is turned to the little girl. A man gets on the bus, and the little girl immediately gets up from her seat and goes to another seat to sit in front of the man as to get his attention. She was beckoning for him to get his attention. She wanted attention from this man, a complete stranger. Now, I had seen this before from this little girl on the bus, and I held my tongue. Okay, and because I know me, I know what's going to make me tick. The mother had her back turned to her the whole time, so she wasn't even aware of what she was doing. So this time when I saw it, I said, no, I'm going to say something, because you could visibly see the man was uncomfortable that this little girl was trying to get his attention, and it was like almost kind of like flirtatious. And in this moment, I'm thinking, where did this little girl learn this from? I was hot, y'all. When I tell you all type of buttons was pressed, I was hot. So I got up and I went to tap the mother's, whose back was still turned to the little girl, had no idea as to what she was doing. And I tapped her and I said, with the strong voice that you hear now, okay, if you could hear my passion, all right, I'm very passionate about this topic that I'm going to talk about in a second. And I tapped her and I said, you need to turn around and pay attention to your daughter as she is trying to get the attention of grown men. And I guess I caught her off guard, and she said, well, is she bothering you? No, she is not bothering me, but your irresponsibility is bothering me. And of course, y'all know she went to curse me out, child, but I don't care that she cursed me out. I told her, you need to pay attention to your child, because it really bothers me, the negligence of adults with children. And it took me all the way back to my childhood, when I had adults all around me who were negligent in the environments that I was in. And so that infuriated me to just think what type of environment this little girl was in on a daily basis. And so that's why I stood up and I had to say something. And if I had to do it all again, I would do it all again, because that little girl did not ask to be here. She did not ask to be in an unfortunate situation where she doesn't have a responsible parent to keep an eye on her when she's in public. And it infuriated me, y'all. And so this is how you must know, and in given situations, how you will respond. That's self-awareness. Okay, you have to be present, you have to be aware of your emotions in the moment and understand your tendencies and how you will react in situations. I tell you, anytime I see a child being neglected, you gonna see Sister Soldier come outside of me. All righty, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, let's get back to this. The surprising thing about self-awareness is that just thinking about it helps you to improve the skill, even though much of your focus initially tends to be on what you do wrong. Having self awareness means you aren't afraid of your emotional mistakes. I can tell you, my voice is very commanding. And so I don't spend time focusing on my weak areas. Self awareness affords me the ability to focus on the areas where I am strong. Okay. Not to say that I am neglecting, not to say that I am neglecting um, and I'm going to answer your question in a second. It was the bus. Okay. And and I went off. You understand? I did. I went off, and I had to turn around and apologize to everybody. And they said, you know what? They was afraid to say what we were all thinking. Girl, turn around and pay attention to your child. But see, I'm not afraid to use my voice, especially when I'm advocating for people who cannot advocate for themselves. All right. So having self awareness means you aren't afraid of your emotional mistakes. They tell you what you should be doing differently and provide the steady stream of information you need to understand as your life unfolds. Self awareness is a foundational skill. When you have it, self awareness makes the other emotional intelligence skills much easier to use. So if you focus on self awareness, which I'm an advocate for, if you focus on that, then you become more in control of managing your emotions, which is the second part of emotional intelligence, and that is self management. And once you're able to do that successfully, okay, this is a daily thing that we must do, then you can go into move into social awareness. And once you get social awareness down, then you can move into relationship management and have better relationships. So, self awareness is the foundational skill. As self awareness increases, people's satisfaction with life, defined as their ability to reach their goals and work at home, skyrockets. Self awareness is so important for job performance that 83% of people high in self awareness are top performers, and just 2% of bottom performers are high in self awareness. Why is this so? When you are self aware, you are far more likely to pursue the right opportunities. You will not take on opportunities that you know you are not great at, that you will not excel in. You will look for opportunities that put your strengths to work. Okay. Perhaps most importantly, keep your emotions from holding you back. The need for self awareness has never been greater. Guided by the mistaken notion that psychology deals exclusively with pathology, we assume that the only time to learn about ourselves is in the face of crisis. And what I am suggesting is that you do not wait to respond, you become proactive. And that is why you got to get ahead of everybody else, because most people just look at your family members, look at the people that you work with. They are, majority of them are not proactive. They react to situations. They react to situations. I was at a place the other day, and a customer fell down and was having a seizure, and everybody's just standing there looking, not knowing what to do, and they're like panicking. And I'm like, okay, they're employees and we're in a professional space. And the employees, it took a delay. I had to jump on the phone, and now I'm just a patron, okay? I had to jump on the phone and call the paramedics. And even myself, after it was all said and done, like I said to myself, Javon, that was a delayed response. Like, why did it take you so long to pick up the phone? Even though it was probably like less than 2 minutes, but still, I think when you are in a situation or when things are happening around you, we don't prepare for them. Self awareness allows us to proactively prepare for situations so that we do not simply just react to things that are happening. Okay. So, where am I at? Okay. So, we tend to embrace those things with which we are comfortable and put blinders on the moment something makes us uncomfortable. But it's really the whole picture that serves us. The more we understand the beauty and the blemishes, the better we are to achieve our full potential. Alrighty, well, that's all I got for you today. This was a snippet from Emotional Intelligence 2.0. If you learn about yourself, understand, what makes you tick, it's going to be better for everybody around you, not just you, but everybody around you. I am Javon Stewart. Thank you so much for attending Jumpstart with Javon. I appreciate you. I love you. Y'all throw those X's up the next time you see me, and I'm out.